the new Kubota SVL65-2S. What are some of the upgrades and what are the features and specs of it? Today, I'm going to go over that. Hey guys, Zach here from Kubota of Lynchburg, and today I wanted to go over the new SVL65-2S that just started shipping out to dealerships. So we got our first ones in last week, so I wanted to show you guys some of the new features, some of the new benefits, some of the upgrades from the 65-2, which is the one sitting over there, and what makes the 65 a great machine for some of your rental fleets, for some of your farmers and hobby guys that just need ones, or even if you're a construction guy, why it might fit well into your series of machines. So I'm going to go around the outside of the machine first and just point out some of the cool specs and some of the upgrades that have happened since the 65-2. So this new S series, we'll call it a super series because it's better than the old one. The first thing you're going to notice is going to be LED lights, front and rear. So the old one had halogens, which are way outdated, as we all know. So now we have LEDs front and rear standard on this machine. Something else we're going to have, which we're going to see a little bit more in detail when we go to the front of the machine, or the inside of the machine, is it's a standard backup camera. Every 65-2S is going to come with a standard backup camera, which means you're going to protect this door a little bit better, although it's still going to get scratched, but hopefully not as dented up. Something else we have new as an option, this isn't standard on it, but as an option is the KSR, which is the Kubota shockless ride. When you have a heavy load or a heavy implement on the front of your skid steer and you're driving around and it's starting to bounce around, the Kubota shockless ride will remove some of that shock, some of that bounce to it. And it does make it a much smoother operator experience, which is when you're in it for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, that's hugely important. So the Kubota shockless ride is a nice option. If you're a guy who's not going to be using that much, or it's mainly smooth asphalt or concrete, okay, maybe not the biggest deal for you, so you can choose not to have that and save yourself some pretty pennies. One of the other things on just all the 65s I want to mention, of course, Kubota has a great, track system that they have OEM, but they also have a triple flanged roller here, these center rollers. And what that means is it grabs the track in 3 separate places, which means it's less likely to have the track come off the rollers, which we all know is a pain in the butt to put back on. Not fun, not easy in the field. So they try to make it a triple flange to make that less likely to happen. So let's go to the inside of the machine. We're here with the old 65-2. Take a close look on the inside. All right, it looks pretty roomy, looks pretty nice, but take a look at that seat. That is the seat that comes with the 65-2. In a second, we're gonna look at the 2S. Also, you have an old style screen and some old style controls and everything. Honestly, you got great visibility out of the 65-2 with these giant windows and this open station, but now we're gonna look at the S series. Of course, Kubota stayed with their probably the best feature on all their skid steers, no offense to all the other features, but this slide up door, which is both there for safety as well as convenience. This giant opening, I have gotten in and out of many other skid steers, and they are not nearly as easy to get in and out of, but if you look at this giant door, plenty of foot room in there, it's easy. But take a look at this seat. That is the standard factory seat. 10 times more comfortable, adjustable, high-backed. It's not that plastic. It is cloth. It is comfy. You also have the option for an air ride heated suspension seat. So if you want to go all out and bougie, that's the way to do it. You still have great visibility out the rear and out the sides of the machines. And if we come in here now, we also have our new 7-inch LCD display screen. So if we turn this on, I'm not going to show you guys all the features. There's other videos out there. Nice and dirty from where it's been sitting outside. You've got a passcode. I'm going to zoom up real quick so you guys don't see the passcode. There we go. And here you have your display screen. It's fully touch. It'll preheat. So we've got Leah behind us waving at the camera. Great rear view camera. Better quality than what it looks like on this footage, but also has a very wide field of view, which is nice, so you can see off to multiple sides. So you can turn on and off the camera. It automatically comes on when you pull reverse. You've got things like Bluetooth speakers right here that you can go to. All this is touch controlled. You have all your control panels, vitals, maintenance, settings, audio, everything you control here. One of the cool things on the screen is if you see the track with 3 dashes, you can click there and you can change your track response speed, mild, normal, or quick. So depending on what you are doing with your skid steer, you can choose which option you want. And so, you know, if you're running a really heavy load, you might want to go to the, mild response. Or if you're just trying to get across the property fast, you might want to go to the high response, because you do have 2 speeds in this setting as well. We're in turtle right now, but you could go to 2 speeds. The other thing that this machine has is what's called auto shifting. I'm trying to think of, it's not auto idle down, but it's an auto shift feature. So when you're doing turns, if you're in like a high speed and a high responsive setting, and you start to get stuck in that turn, we all know when running these skid steers, it starts to catch and starts to slow you down. It'll actually basically shift down until you finish that turn and then pick back up. So to help, rather than getting stuck in a turn or having to really slow down, it kind of has that responsiveness to it. Speaking of responsiveness, this does have the advanced multifunctional valve. So Kubota is known for their hydraulic system. Yes, these controls are hydraulic over hydraulic. They're not electronic over hydraulic. So it's a direct input from your hand to hydraulic pressure right there going to your controls, which means this is like the smoothest skid steer in the market. And Kubota is known for that. The hydraulics are smooth, very easy to move into like an exact space, 1 inch forward, 1 inch back without the jerkiness of the electronic controls. But this advanced multifunctional valve, what that means is you can run multiple functions at once without taking away from another one. So if you're dumping your bucket while driving, you're not going to stop driving because you're raising and dumping the bucket. You're going to do multiple functions at once, smoothly, simultaneous, without loss of major power to your other components. So that's one of those nice things that Kubota's always stayed on the top of the game, is their hydraulics. So got this great open cab, got your integrated radio, backup camera systems right here. Comes standard from the factory with telematics. If you don't know what telematics are, there's other videos on it. Of course, your door slides up and down very easily. Easy ingress, easy exit, which is probably one of the most important things, and you have these options for seats. So this is a 68 horsepower machine, weighs about 8,300 pounds, has a rated operating capacity at 50% tip load of 3,000 pounds. So with an 8,300 pound machine, you can easily pick up and operate with 3,000 pounds all day on the front of the machine. This is a high flow, so you're gonna have your 14-pin connector, case drain, high and low flow settings, but you have options. You could go to an open station, you could go to a standard flow. Kubota makes sure that all the options are out there for you. So again, if you're looking for something that's less than the CDL requirements, because it's under, that a little less than 12,000 pound range, is at 8,300 pounds. That's mobile, good on fuel economy, has no DEF systems to it, so you don't have to add the DEF fluid, just has the DPF burn-off systems. This is a great machine. About as reliable as they come, built solid from Kubota with a ton of nice new upgrades, mainly comfort upgrades, but this screen with the track responsiveness and auto shifting and your ability to choose speeds and everything, it is a nice upgrade from the 65-2. So if you haven't seen one in person, I recommend go to your local dealership of choice and check one out.